All right. I almost forgot that they released the UFO files, some of them today. What's wrong with my cameras? Oh no. And I thought it'd be cool to go over some of them. And see what's out here. Dude, I can't be the only one that's been like paying attention to this stuff. Let me see. Are the volume levels good? That's what I'm concerned about. Hello, hello. That's what I'm concerned about. Hello, hello. That's what I'm concerned about. All right, it sounds good to me. If you have any issues, please let me know. Let me see. Why do I feel like the screen is like super like HDR? Anyway. All right, so US Department of War. Where was this? I was just reading the intro. All right, so per the president, based on a tremendous interest shown, I'll be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, and unidentified flying objects, UFOs. That's what we know them by. And any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. Dude, so from what I'm tracking is that they are releasing these in batches, and this is the first batch. And I heard somewhere that it said that whatever they're going to release next is going to make whatever we're looking at now basically a drop in the bucket. So, per May 8th, yesterday, the Department of War is in lockstep with President Trump to bring unprecedented transparency regarding our government's understanding of unidentified anomalous phenomenons, UAPs. These files, hidden behind classifications, have long fueled justified speculation, and it's time the American people see it for themselves. This release of declassified documents demonstrates the Trump's administration's earnest commitment to unprecedented transparency. United States Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. So yeah, as you can see, this is from war.gov, so it's an official website of the U.S. Department of War, an official website of the United States government. So all of this is like super official. And so we got 17 pages of files. Dude, I'm not going to be able to look at all of this tonight. But agency, FBI, NASA. Hold on. Department of War, FBI, NASA. All right. So a lot of files from NASA and the Department of War. Okay. Okay. Has anyone seen these yet? Like, have y'all looked through them? All right, so the first one, the FBI 62 headquarters case file includes investigative records, eyewitness testimonies, and public records concerning unidentified flying objects, UFOs, and flying discs documented between June 1947 and July 1968. So the records include high-profile incident accounts, photographic evidence from sites like Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and technical proposals regarding potential propulsion systems. Additional topics include convention programs, researcher accounts, and extensive media coverage from the period. This file is partially posted on the FBI vault with more redactions, and some pages missing. Included here is the complete case file with several newly declassified pages and only minor redactions. I wonder why they're still redacted. All right. Why does this look fake to me? FBI Central Records Center. Can you rotate? Rotate. Mm. Let me see. Let me see. All right, I think I messed it up. All right, so we got the cover file. How many pages? Whoa, that's a lot of pages. Yeesh. 139. We're skimming. All right, Miss Levy J. Dow, Goffstown, New Hampshire. Dear Miss Dow, your letter of August 31st with enclosures has been received, and I appreciate the interest which prompted you to write. In response to your inquiry, this bureau is strictly an investigative agency of the federal government, and as such, neither makes evaluations nor draws conclusions as to the character or integrity of any organization, publication, or individual. I'm sorry I cannot assist you. However, you may be sure your communication will be made matter of record. Sincerely yours, Edgar Hoover. John Edgar Hoover, Director. Both files contains no record of correspondence, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I cannot read that. What is this? Is that the back page? True copy. So August 31st, 1966. I'm a member of NICAP and am very much interested in UFO flying saucers. Several weeks ago, a fellow employee received a letter, business from Arizona, with a stamp on the back, see enclosed. Being interested in UFOs, I asked for the stamp and sent $3 for the 12-inch issues from AFSCAPE. What did we say that was again? AFSCAPE? Did it say? Having received and read my first issue, I feel it isn't just what it appears on the surface. I can't say just why, but with my limited idea of how communists operates, it strikes me it is backed by them. My reason for writing this is that I consider myself a true American. I am told my ancestors go back to a GR grandmother, great 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 grandmother, who was an Indian squaw, and I'm proud of it. If by writing this AFSCA report, my name could in any way be aligned with the Communist Party, I would like to know if there's any way I can get things straightened out. I may be all wrong about my interpretation of this report, but I'd like to be sure since I expect I will get the other issues as they come. I will be 63 years old in a few days. My husband had passed away. I've worked as manager of Rain's department for the NHINS Co. in Manchester. 44 years this month. Whoa, that's a long time. Okay, I don't know what we're talking about on this one. AFSCA. I don't know how to say that word. Amalgamated Flying Saucers Club of America. Interesting. Reno, Nevada, July 8th, 9th, 10th, 1966. So this looks like a newsletter that they had going on. Let me see. Dude, the moment I need to start reading, my voice feels like it's like going out. All right, so in 1966, what was the quality like? What could they make back then? Is this Is this a thing? Could they have made that? They didn't have CGI. Speakers, Reno, Nevada, the in-person people who have actual contacts with spaceships and their crews from other worlds. So people who have seen spaceships. Oh, so this is an actual like newsletter. And the lady wrote in and said that they was like communists. So this looks like just like a fan club, like a little group tracked by radars. UFOs sighted over a wide section of district. Bro, what? An unidentified flying object was tracked briefly on radar by a U.S. Air Force base in Michigan last night, and a multitude of new sightings were reported by Western Ontario residents. A retired U.S. Marine Corps major said yesterday. There is substantial evidence that they are observation devices controlled by a superior civilization. Sightings of the objects were reported last night over an area stretched from Sarnia to Kintore, northwest of Woodstock. The mysterious objects came in a variety of forms, according to their observers. There was an orange one at Sarnia and another giving off red, white, and blue flashes. There was a red one in London that had a pulsating white halo. The one at Kintore, is that a place? That sounds made up. Kintore was a bright white light that. How's this thing moving? All right. The one in Kintore was a bright white light and intermittently faded to a dull red. Some of them were high-tailing it through the sky like mad, and some of them were sitting stock still in midair. Some were poking along, and some were traveling slowly with intermittent bursts of speed. A spokesman at the U.S. Air Force Base in Selfridge, Michigan, said one was tracked briefly on radar but could not say what it was. Some observers said their sightings lasted for about 7 minutes. Others reported keeping the object in sight for up to 2 hours. The Free Press sent 5 men out Martian hunting, two of them in a chartered plane, but found only two high flying jet planes carrying the usual red and green running lights and leaving white vapor trails. Major Donald E. Kehoe, the Marine officer who advanced the other space spy in the sky theory on the behalf of the National Investigations Committee on the Aerial Phenomenon, called on the U.S. government yesterday to release all the information it had on UFO sightings. There is substantial evidence we are being observed by some sort of device which is far more advanced than anything we have and is controlled by a superior civilization. He told a press conference, "These things are real and under intelligent control." He added he urged the Air Force to end the secrecy on sightings and stop ridiculing the component witnesses who have seen them. Kehoe, who has written several books on the subject of UFOs, is director of the investigations committee. The majority of the Western Ontario sightings came from London and Sarnia. Miss J. Fielding of 1025 Oxford St. E. London reported seeing a white light in the northeast sky, headed towards Stratford at 7:25 p.m. A Thorndale area man, Floyd Baxter, at 7:40 reported seeing an orange and yellow light moving very slowly to the northeast. He estimated it to be more than 1,000 feet high. 15 minutes later, at Kintore, 6 miles northeast of Thorndale, a mother and her two children saw a white light quite high in the sky that seemed to be blinking. Miss J. H. Haynes of Kintore said there was no sound and we watched it for 10 minutes anyway. It would brighten up and then it would dim down. It was moving ever so slowly, she added. Her daughter, Wendy, 15-year-old, Ingersoll District Collegiate Institute student also said she saw a clear white light which kept dimming and getting brighter. Bro, their newspapers were like written like everywhere. Jesus. All right, so a lot of people seen it. What does this say? 16 sell a chase by buzzing lighted UFOs. 6 picnicking Denver teenagers reported Thursday night they were chased for an hour by an unidentified flying object in Daniels Park, south of the Denver in Douglas County. The high school students, 3 boys and 3 girls, told Police Chief John C. McIver of Littleton they witnessed unexplained, apparently hovering red, blue, and white lights accompanied by a series of pulsating, buzzing sounds which began around 9:30 p.m. The teenagers, all 17, who described what they saw were described by McIver as being sincere, cold sober, and a little shaken by what they saw. The group appeared at McIver's office shortly before 11 p.m. I was real skeptical at first, McIver said, but each of the kids called their parents, who knew they'd been picnicking, to tell them where they were. I don't know what they saw, he said, but I'm convinced they saw something. Something hovering that pulsated red, white, and blue back in 1966. Hmm. I don't know what they saw, he said, but I'm convinced they saw something. Alan Skyniver, son of Mr. and Mrs. Russell Skyniver of 1040 Jackson Street, a junior at East High School, gave the following account. Scrivener, I'm saying his name wrong, I'm sorry, and 5 friends drove to Daniels Park, 10 to 12 miles southeast of Littleton, around 6:30 p.m. They parked the car and walked about a city block down a small incline up again to a stone shelter built in the side of a hill. The group was sitting around a fire they built inside when they heard what sounded like a man walking on top of the shelter. The roof can easily be reached on foot from the slanting hillside. Scriniver and Don Otis, an Eastside Junior, son of Mr. and Mrs. Elmo Otis, 1939, Fairfax Street, stood on top of the shelter and shined a flashlight into the surrounding area. They saw nothing. The two, leaving the others behind in the shelter, made their way through the underbush back to the road. I thought someone was messing around my car, Scrivener said. Just as we got to the car, he said both of us heard a real weird buzzing noise. It seemed to be all around us. As they reached the car, the youth saw 2 red lights about a foot each in diameter, about 2 feet off the ground and parallel to each other. As they reached the car, the youth saw 2 red lights that was about a foot in diameter, about 2 feet off the ground, parallel to each other. Does that sound familiar? And mind you, 1966. There was a white light in the center of the reds. The lights, about 20 feet apart, appeared to be a field on the far side of the road. The lights, about 20 feet apart, appeared to be in a field on the far side of the road, about 25 yards from the car. The two, thinking it might be 2 parked cars or something, crouched in the ditch and waited. About 3 minutes later, they again approached the car. They saw and heard nothing. They returned to the shelter. The 4 in the shelter said that while the 2 had been gone, they heard the same footstep-like sound on the roof again. Two of the girls said they've also seen a tall man who might have been wearing a raincoat dart through the light showing through the window into the area. They also said they heard his footsteps. The group decided to leave. As they were walking back to the car, Otis turned and saw a real bright flash behind the hill over the shelter, and it lit up the whole area, buzzing all around. The ominous buzzing began again. No direction, just all around. Never heard anything like it in my life, Scrivener said. Shortly afterward, as the group neared the car, they all agreed they saw the same thing, the two blue lights hovering low in the sky. About 3/4 of a mile away, the lights were stationary and went from bright to dim. A third white a third white light appeared to rise up and down between the blues and lit up the area. No outline other than the lights was visible. They were perched atop the car hood and watched the blue and white lights off and on for about half an hour. The lights appeared in back of the shelter in the opposite direction from the first lights seen in the field. 20 minutes after the blues appeared, another set, blues with a bright red in the center, appeared off to the left of the others and about a block away, these hovering near the ground, buzzing. The buzzing continued. The night was overcast with no stars visible, but real clear beneath the clouds, with the lights, real clear beneath the clouds where the lights were. As the third set of lights hovered, the youths agreed they could see a dark outline between the lights. It looked like a black football, the blue lights on each end, with an orange on top, like a bubble. It looked like a black football, the blue lights on each end, with an orange on top, like a bubble. The red light was at the bottom. It didn't move up. It didn't move up and on, but did cast a beam of light to the ground. Car didn't work right. The youngsters piled in a car, a 1954 Ford, and started out of the park. You'll all think we're nuts, Scrivener said later, but my car didn't work right. I could get it up to about 30 miles an hour, then it would cut off like someone turned the ignition off. Then it would start up again. Scrivener also complained that the radio was playing nothing but static while they were left the immediate area of the shelter. As they drove off, two of the girls and Otis saw what appeared to be a large oval circle of light. It covered the whole road. As they drove off, the two girls and Otis saw what appeared to be a large oval circle of light. It covered the whole road, following the car. Oh, like the spaceship is like behind it, trying to beam them up. Scary, scary. Mary Zolar, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jack A. Zolar, was in the back seat with the two others. It was huge and glowing, she said, and it came right up to the back of the car, then went out. It lasted about 3 seconds. As the car left the park, it quit missing out, and the radio played normally. Called sheriff's office. The youth stopped at the service station and called the AARO County Sheriff's Office, then went to McIver's office. McIver said one of the impressive things about their story was all six didn't claim to have seen the exact same thing at the same time, and a couple of them are real shook up. He added, the operations officer at Lowry Air Force Base said early Friday he'd received a call apparently from the Arapahoe County Sheriff reporting the sightings. Others in the group were Michael Symington, son of Mr. and Mrs. James E. Symington, a junior at East, Patty Redford, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Neil Redford, da 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 da. Two other UFO sightings reported in the state, one in Delta and the other in Denver. Delta Police Chief D.C. Morgan, Patrolman Ernest Markley, and reporter Don Prater of the Delta Independent watched an object which was glowing green in color and very bright. The men observed it and it for almost 2 hours before it disappeared by rising straight up. In Denver, Terry Datz, 19, the University of Denver student, said he and Dennis Sullivan of Mount Vernon uh, cited about 7 UFOs, which appeared garbage can lid size. The student said the objects disappeared in the clouds after about 10 minutes. Garbage can lid size. I feel like those kids were like high or something. Boy is burnt by flying ship. Hamilton, April 4th, 13-year-old Hamilton boy has a curved burn on his hand he claims came from touching the antenna of a soft glowing flying ship. Charles Cousins claims 2 strange ships landed in the field behind the Hamilton Mountain Police Station on Upper Wellington Street Tuesday night. Constable Arnold Peed, summoned to the home after the parents repeatedly questioned their son before reporting the incident, verified the 3-inch yellowish burn marks on the boy's hand. Charles said he ran behind a fence after seeing one ship land, closely followed by another one. He described the objects as 8 feet long, 4 feet wide, and 3 feet high, with red, blue, and green lights set into the rim and flickering like a computer. The boy said the objects made a buzzing sound and lit up the grass around. Only one of the antennas, he said, it was thicker at the base and narrowed to the size of a nickel at the top. When he touched the antenna, a flash of electricity occurred and he received a shock. His father, James Cozen, Droughtsman, said that he explained the seriousness of calling the police, but Charles was empathetic and could not be shaken. Last Wednesday, Laverne Emery, 18, and his brother Owen, 14, reported seeing 2 objects flying low over the city. Mr. Emery, an engineer, said his sons were extremely shaken up by what they had seen. They said the objects made a whirring noise, not at all like an aircraft. Where's that man's ear at? Interesting. This looks like it could be like a balloon. That could be like a cloud. I don't know about that. That's like Kami's tower. Bro. Okay, I heard there were videos. I want to see the videos. PC reports, I saw 6 flying saucers. Police Constable Donald Cameron made out a report last night and hoped the chief constable would believe that he really did see 6 flying saucers. PC Cameron was at home on sick leave when he looked out a window and saw six glowing objects hovering in the distance. I thought I was seeing things and called my wife. And he said last night he watched them for about 30 seconds before they disappeared at speeds toward Manchester. They were about a mile away. I could see them clearly, even though it was a dull day. They were white and glowing. One was bigger than the other, um, with a cup-shaped dome. Obviously, the mothership. The others were oval, he added as he made out his report at his home in Chiltern Road. I suppose I will get some ribbing from the lads, but that is not what worries me. It's what the chief constable thinks. That man got fired. But it said down in Manchester. Like I feel like was it a year ago, a year or two ago, we had all those UAPs, UFOs, sightings. I think it was like around Jersey. Everyone kept saying that they were seeing stuff flying around, and then like it just disappeared. Everyone just stopped talking about it. But that was like up north. Like why up north is seeing all this stuff? Minus like Nevada and New Mexico. UFO plays tags with deputies in 85-mile chase. 85 miles? They didn't stop. April 17th, UPI. I don't know what that means. Two Portage County Sheriff's deputies followed a bright, circular, unidentified object Sunday from Atwater O to Freedrome, PA, a distance of 85 miles. Deputies Dale Spower and Neff were investigating a routine traffic accident at 5 a.m. when they were alerted by radio to be on the lookout for an object heading their way. An Air Force gunner during the Korean War said the circular object, about 30 to 45 feet in diameter, traveled at speeds from 80 to 100 miles an hour. It was about 1,000 feet in the air and was extremely bright. Sproul radioed to the Portico County Sheriff's headquarters here. I have never seen anything this bright before in my life, he told Deputy Robert Wilson via the radio. In Benton Harbor, a flying object described as so bright you couldn't look straight at it, was sighted early Sunday near the downtown section of the city. Three rubbish collectors, like is that like trashmen, said they saw the object hover over a motel along the street, Joseph River. The head of the crew, Joseph Franklin, said it was about 15 stories in the air, had about it was about 15 stories in the air, had a still-like shell, and looked something like a hot dog in shape. He said it had a brilliant light, so bright he couldn't look directly at it. Franklin and his crew reported the sightings to the police, who also viewed the object. The two deputies were joined in the chase at East Palestine, just across the state line from Pennsylvania, bleh, by East Palestine. Patrolman Wayne Houston. Houston said the object appeared larger than an airliner and traveled in a straight line. He said it would change altitude suddenly. It was a funny thing, Houston said, but when the object got too far ahead of us, it appeared to stop and wait. Wilson said at one time, Spower reported the object, which had something like an antenna protruding from the bottom, hovered above the cruiser in which Spower and Neff were riding. Wilson said that Spower and Neff were questioned by the Air Force colonel in Freedom. Air Force headquarters at Great Pittsburgh Airport said it had no record of the UFO. The chase lasted about 50 minutes, and in the time, the object was reported seen by at least 6 or 7 other departments. both in Ohio and Pennsylvania, Wilson said. Jeff at one time CB, that's in the Navy. I think they blow up stuff. Agreed with Spire in the description of the object and added that it had no wings. Wilson said the object was caught by radar in Pittsburgh. He said that at least 7 jets from the Cleveland area headed for the object after it was reported. The control tower at Great Pittsburgh Airport said it spotted no UFOs on its radar. They said they were questioned by the Air Force colonel in 1966. I wonder if like there was like tech and they were like testing it out, because I can imagine like someone's troop was just like playing around with these guys, like just like chasing them with a drone or something of the equivalent back then. When they said, what did they say? It was a funny thing Houston said, but when the object got too far ahead, it appeared to stop and wait. That part stood out to me. Flying saucers are real. Bro, I want to believe so bad. I want to believe. I want to believe. This is that Flying Saucers Club stuff again. Mm. Bro, there's one story I want to find. It was like, I think it was released by the FBI. They said like something landed and they went to go investigate it. Or maybe it was the CIA. But they said like the people that went and saw it, like everyone that stared at it turned into a stone statue. And I think only 2 people didn't look at it directly, and they were the only ones to survive. And they have that in like official record somewhere. UFO pictures. These still photographs are taken from the screen projection of an 8mm color film from September 7th, 1966, taken with Revere 8mm cinematic camera automatic. Da, 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 da. I don't see nothing. This is like clouds. Tree. But I know like everyone makes fun of like nowadays. They're like, why are you trying to take UFO pictures of like a Nokia phone? Imagine back then, like you see something and you're trying to take a photo of it, and this is what's coming out. Just getting laughed at. Oh my god. All right, what else we got? What else we got? Dude, I want to see the videos and the pictures. Has anyone looked through these yet? All right, so that was the first one. Does it say what year everything is? So this is through 68 as well. I'm actually curious if they have like newer stuff at the back. 2023. Bro, the orbs. Y'all remember they were talking about that? Orbs launching orbs. Okay, so this is like current, like recent. Popping a Dr. Pepper. Western U.S. time of day dusk on two separate days. Three teams of two federal law enforcement special agents, each, I don't know what that is, ESPER 1 through ESPER 6, independently described seeing orange orbs in the sky emit launch smaller red orbs in groups of 2 to 4, with three being in general consensus. This is stated to have occurred at least 5 times. Each time the orange orb would appear, launched red orbs, then disappear. The orange orb was only visible for 1 or 2 seconds. The red orbs would generally move away from the orange mother orb in a horizontal path, but in a couple of instances, one of the red orbs was stated to move heading up at an angle, while another witness stated sometimes the red orbs would swoop down after being launched from the larger orange orb. These events were witnessed by multiple teams from varying locations and vantage points over a 2 day period. Due to the sequential nature of the events, it is not known whether there are a single orange mother orb that released the groups of red orbs or whether there were multiple orange orbs at play. Large fiery orb, artist rendering. Two federal law enforcement special agents, ESPER 5 and ESPER 6, witnessed glowing orbs at a distance approximately 5 to 600 meters, uh, where it was perched close to a rock pinnacle. Size was difficult to determine, but it appeared to be similar in size to a small helicopter cockpit. That is like an odd thing to like relate size to. How big was it? It was the size of a helicopter cockpit. I don't even know how big that is. Witnesses were unable to clearly see any structure other than a glowing orb through ESPER 6, noted that the object did almost appear it might have had a small spindle or something connecting it underneath to the rock formation. Witnesses stated that the object did not emit any noticeable sound. The object was described as being similar to the eye or sick Sauron from Lord of the Rings, except without the pupil, or maybe an orange storm electrified glowing ball. Upper Six stated the object seemed to be hovering with zero resistance. I say hesitation. Hovering with zero resistance or movement, or to be suspended. The sighting lasted about a minute. Measurements later gathered by AARO assesses the object to have been 1,050 meters away from the observers. Measurements later gathered by the AARO assesses the object to have been between 12 to 18 meters in diameter. The dark kite. Recreation of a drawing provided by the ESPER 6 of the object seen in the night vision goggles. White light, red light, white. Two federal law enforcement special agents, Upper 5 and ESPER 6, observed what is initially thought to be a car traveling along a road in a restricted zone. The car had two lights, one red, one white, that are about 2 to 3 feet off the ground. Agents pursued the car, and as they got within a few hundred feet of it, the object suddenly moved off the road over the desert without changing its orientation with respect to the observers, i.e., it appeared to move laterally at an estimated speed of 15-20 miles an hour. The objects didn't change height and appeared to move with zero resistance. The object stopped about 100 meters off the side of the road and turned off its lights. ESPER 6 described the object as a thin line through the back, whereas the other agents, ESPER 5, stated that it almost looked like an ill-defined dark kite shape. that had some rounded width to the sides. Esper 6 used night vision goggles, NVGs, to view the object. Once it had stopped off the road, the agent stated that they observed the object for a split second in the NVGs before the lights turned off, and that once the lights were off, a very thin line remained. The object was estimated to be about 4 feet wide and positioned horizontally to the ground. See image 1. The object then began moving at about the speed of 15-20 miles an hour and appeared to move up in height, but remain a flat line. The agent lost sight of the object after a few seconds. In later discussion with the AARO, the object is described as being triangular. Transparent kite. No, outline was not definitive, but location of light stayed in the exact formation. So whatever they saw, the lights were in this figuration, and I guess it emitted that kind of shape. Recreation of drawing provided by Esper 6 of objects seen with the bare eye. Pre-dawn hours. After 30 minutes of the dark kite sighting, federal law enforcement agents Esper 5 and Esper 6, well, I know they got a drug test, returned to the same general area with another colleague, Esper 7. I know 7 was like, why you bring me into this? In response to a report of another unauthorized object in the area, within a few hundred meters of the dark kite sightings, two of the team members, 5 and 6, observed a kite shaped object with lighting patterns similar to the object seen previously. This object is about 6 meters off the ground. It canted at an angle from lower right to upper left. See image 2. And it appeared to be floating slowly with the wind. 5 was using the NVGs when viewing the object, and 6 used their bare eyes. 7 did not see the object. Stick to the story. 5 stated that the night vision goggles, they could vaguely see a bright star or two in the distance through the object. So it was transparent, though somewhat more faint, leading them to believe the object was somewhat transparent. Well, I could be a detective. After losing sight of the object, 5 tried using a spotlight to find it again. The witness noted that when shining the light around, at one point, my beam went from shining far into the distance to stopping about 50 yards away on nothing in a part. 50 yards away on nothing in particular. So it's invisible. It just was not projecting into the distance, and then it was. That's actually kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. When the witness pointed the light at this spot where the light had appeared to be blocked by something, this time the light was projecting into the distance again. The team was unable to reacquire the sight of the object. So they were shining the light and it was projecting out. And then as they hit it, can you imagine that? Like light just stopping in the middle of like nothing? Interesting. That's all they have for that one. And that was released by Department of War. I'm going backwards because I want to read like the new stuff. PDF, image, NASA, Apollo. What did NASA have going on? As part of a review of historical UAP materials under pursuit, Department of War has opened a case to investigate the accompanied NASA photograph from the Apollo 17 missions taken in December 1972. The image contains three dots in a triangular formation in the lower right quadrant of the lunar sky that is clearly visible upon magnification of the image. While this photo has been previously released and discussed by keen observers, there is no consensus about the nature of the anomaly. New preliminary U.S. government analysis suggests that the image features potentially the result of the physical object in the scene. Additionally, as part of the investigation, the government has obtained the original film from the Apollo 17 missions, and the results of the full NASA and Department of War analysis will be released when completed. Bro, we looking at space right now. So that's that. Bro, how did they even see that? I guess like when you're in NASA, you have to like look at everything. Like I'd be like, who wrote 32 on the moon? Let me see. What are these? These little footsteps? I'm over here acting like my computer can like zoom in better than a NASA computer. You think that's like a star or something? Oh no. Let me see. This archive photograph depicts the lunar surface as viewed from the landing site of Apollo 12. This image features 5 highlighted areas of interest labeled Area 1 through Area 5 above the horizon, in which unidentified phenomena are visible. This image has been modified from its original state to assist viewers to identify specific areas of interest. These highlights are provided for contextual purposes only. Such alterations do not constitute an analytical judgment, investigative conclusion, or factual determinations regarding the nature or significance of the subject matter. This one, what is that? Why didn't we look at this one? What is that? That's no moon. What could that be? Like, could that be like the moon, like just at a weird reflection? But it looks like it has like a bean shape, like a backwards B. Like lights hitting it at a weird angle. Could that be a planet? Are these not normal? Like these are like not stars or nothing? Bro, space is so weird. That look like something traveling. Area 1 and Area 5. That got my attention. Bro, my eyes hurt. Where's PDF? Where the videos at? Video. Unresolved UAP report. Department of the Army. 2026? Department of War submitted a report of an unidentified anomalous phenomenon, UAP, to the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO. Okay, that's what that means. All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, consisting of 1 minute and 49 seconds of video from an infrared sensor aboard a U.S. military platform in 2026. The reporter did not provide any oral or written description of the observation. They just sent the video. The sensor tracks an initial area of interest. The sensor disengages from its previous area of focus and pans from right to left to track two areas of contrast, narrowing the field of view to zoom in while panning to maintain objects' positions generally within the center of the frame. We ready? Everyone lean down. We got our tinfoil hats. I got mine. Oh, God. All right, so that looked like a UAV. But what is that? Is that a moth? Bro, why does everything have to be at night? You think it's two of them or just reflection of the camera? Looks like two. Imagine you're on mission. You're just like, what is this? Why does this have to happen on my patrol? What is that? Is he like locking onto it? You about to shoot it down? Dude, what was that light, bro? I just got flash. All right, what is this one? You got something else popping up to the right. Right here. What is that? What is this? What is this? Or is that the camera? Low key, that was kind of lame. So that's a UAV, and that's moving because those things don't float. So they were watching something. So they had to been like moving, and they passed something. And when they passed it, It looks like it's moving because whatever this is moving out of frame. Could it been like two jets, like Wingman always flies in twos, and they just weren't tracking? 2026. Aboard a U.S. military platform in 2026. The report did not provide any oral written description from the Army. Oh, there is more? What? This video description is provided for informational purposes only. Readers should not interpret it as a da-da-da. Redaction has been made to protect the identity of the eyewitnesses, the location of government facilities, or potentially sensitive information about military sites not related to UAP. No redactions have been made to any files released under President Trump's directive concerning. I wonder if this had anything to do with like current events. I think that might have been. I mean, I don't know. I just, just a guy on Twitch, just. All right, there's more videos. Okay. So we watched the Army one. All right, this video description. Nope. United States Indo-Pacific Command submitted a report of an unidentified anomalous phenomenon to all domain anomalon AARO, consisting of a 1 minute and 39 second. Why is all videos 1 minute and 39 seconds? A video footage from an infrared sensor aboard a U.S. military platform in 2024. Okay, I'm gonna read that one more time. Consisting of a 1 minute 39 seconds of video footage from an infrared sensor aboard a U.S. military platform in 2024. The reporter did not provide any oral written description of these observations. The sensor tracked in an area of contrast, maintaining position, the video description, redactions, You can download the video. All right, let's see what happens. So I think we're following this little thing right here. Because 2024, that was when. Is that thing like zigzagging or is that the camera? Oh, did that thing just change directions? Hold on. So we're moving left. We're going left because you see whatever the ground or whatever is moving this direction. And the camera is panning over trying to keep it in frame. But it looks like it's doing one of these. And you see the ground, it stops. So the camera stopped panning to the left to keep up with it because it was moving, and then it stops. So we're moving, ground is moving, ground is moving. Ground is moving. And ground's coming to a stop. And it looks like it's doing twirls. Ground isn't moving. 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 Ground is and it's starting to move the other direction. Infrared camera. Could it not be like a camera night vision discrepancy? Like, what are these little white dots? Like, why is like, can we see it go behind something? Bro, give me the remote at NASA. Let me figure this out. Bro, I want to see it disappear behind. Can is that disappear? Like, I don't know how night vision works. Would it pick up the heat from that object through that pole? Like, it never like disappears fully, and that's the only thing that's like it just gets vague. Or maybe it's not behind it, maybe it's in front of it and it's not bouncing off of the background. I don't know how night vision works. Cause I know like NVGs, they pick up like the smallest amounts of light. Like that could be something like shining behind the camera. But the fact that like it was like independently moving on its own and it's staying in frame for so long and like not disappearing like at all angles. Like this whatever camera they're using is moving. And like when they were originally tracking it and it started doing like those little circles, like it's going, and the ground stops and it like kind of like makes its own little turn and it starts moving this way. Bro, like, what if it's like a drone and they were like doing like a drone racing video? Like, watch me go through like the windmills and not get hit by the blades. Bro, show me the whole video. Why you cut it off? Unless whatever it is just that hot. Oh, MVGs. Would it be heat? It's not tracking heat. Sensors track maintaining. No, infrared, not MVGs. Okay. So yeah, if it was actual like just so hot that it illuminated behind it, like the infrared could pick it up. Where are we at with this? Is this what are our thoughts? What are our thoughts? We got Japan. Y'all give me a second. I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. Let me see. Okay. Whoa. All right, which one were we on? We're on Japan. Japan. All right. United States Indo-Pacific Command submitted a report of an unidentified flying phenomenon to an all-domain anomaly resolution office, consisting of 1 minute and 59 seconds of video footage from an infrared sensor aboard a U.S. military platform in 2023. The reporter did not provide any oral or written description of the observation. Bro, people are just throwing videos, submitting them. They're not saying nothing. Hold on real quick. Let me see. I wanted to make a post about this. All right. Whoa, where'd it go? All right. We already said this. Another infrared aboard a U.S. military platform in 2023. All right. Let's see. Bro, these heads up displays looks like super outdated to me. So to me, this looks like something far up in the sky, and we're either like driving on a ship or something. Something's bouncy. It's hard to look at it. Like your cell phone camera is at like 100 times view zoom, and you're trying to steady on it. Unless it's moving and they're trying to keep up with it. If these things could like break apart or something, this would be more interesting. It almost looks like two. All right, the video started over. Did it start over or just clicking on accident? All right, I don't know about that one. Anything? No? Mm. All right, so Japan. All right, so 2024. United States Indo-Pacific Command submitted a report of an unidentified anomalous phenomenon to an all-domain AARO consisting of 9 seconds of video footage from an infrared sensor aboard a U.S. military platform. The reporter did not give any statement. Bro, what? I wish this could be like were we looking at the sky, on the ground? In the water? Y'all seen the thing they said a lot of this stuff is being seen in the water? Like entering and exiting the water? This almost looks like something you see in like biology or chemistry class, like when you look in a was it the magnifying scope? I couldn't even guess what that could have been. All right. Sensor narrows its field of view to zoom in on the area contrast. Department of Air Force. Okay, shout out to Air Force. Submitted a report of a unidentified anomalous phenomenon to an all-domain AARO consisting of 58 seconds of video footage from an infrared sensor aboard a U.S. military platform in 2020. The reporter did not provide any oral written description. What does this red circle mean? Oh, that thing got close. What was that? Who's watching who? Bro, move all these black bars. What? It's like it's not even like an object. Like it's like matter. What do they call it? A amoeba? An amoeba? How you spell that? AMOBEA? Amoeba? Amoeba? Bro, this is what it be looking like to me. Like when they're like showing these videos. Like, can we not have like flying amoebas in the sky? Like, is it? Can a camera be so good it picks it up? No. You have to be zoomed in for these things. Which one was this one? And that was in the Middle East. All right. United States Central Command submitted a report of a UAP to all domain AARO consisting of 5 minutes and 11 seconds of video footage from an infrared sensor aboard a U.S. military platform. The report did not provide any oral or written descriptions. Okay. Oh, we got audio. Okay. What's this? A tanker, an oil ship?
Alpha Alpha, call behind East 132.12. 132.12, Alpha.
What is this? Is this it? Boy, they said forget the ship. What is this? That thing moving. So we're in like over water because they were just showing that ship. I'm telling you, I don't know where I saw it from, but it said that a lot of this stuff, reports were saying that they were seeing these things like enter the water and then come out of it. What's in the water? What's interesting to me is they just started following this thing. They didn't say nothing. I'd be like, you hear me on that microphone? Hey, come look at this. What is this? I'd be freaking out. It almost looks like it's getting brighter. I wonder why there's like a distinct little circle here. And this looks fogged out. That thing just cruising. Not a care in the world. he like gave up at that point. Maybe it went out too far. Interesting. Okay, that was that. What are these pictures? The FBI submitted a report of a UAP to all domain AARO consisting of a still image derived from a U.S. government system. The date and location of the event had not been provided. The original imagery was altered with redactions before being submitted. An accompanying mission report was not provided. The operator reported that they were unable to provide properly identified UAP. Displays a uniform grainy texture with a central crosshair reticle. A small, dark, and slightly irregular object is visible just below and to the right of the center of the reticle. This narrative description is provided. Dude, they finally provided something. Bro, how do we see the picture? Uh-oh. See, this is what I don't want to see. Don't give me a bunch of these little photos. We can do without that. I need to see like actual shapes. Cause this looks like one of these. Like that's not doing me nothing. All right, we got more videos. The mother load. All right, we're going to Djibouti, 2025. 12 seconds. Consisting of 2 seconds of video footage from infrared sensor aboard a U.S. military platform. A small, barely distinguishable area of contrast moves from the left, sensor to the right, exiting from the bottom. All right, what are we looking at? All right, we're on some kind of aircraft. All right, so it's right here. You gotta like squint your eyes for this one. It's like right here. Dude, that thing is moving. How do they catch that? Can y'all see that? I can't see it on the preview, but yeah, it's like right here. Could it be like a? It wouldn't be like a bird or anything, just traveling. Birds don't fly that high, right? That's something. All right, Arabian Gulf. Well, it was going down in Arabian Gulf. What, in 2020? I'm not gonna read this stuff anymore. They're saying the same thing. It's a weird object, infrared, 4-minute video. Is this it? There it goes. A little metallic orb thing. How long we've been? Godly. Gotta go to bed. Bro, I don't even know what we're looking at in this video. Like, I know I seen the little orb thing, but this camera guy sucks. Come on now. Where did it go? There it is. Is that it? Oh, those must be clouds. So are we on the ground looking up? Is this it? Dude, they said, okay, so this is like the first wave of like data that they're putting out. And I'm just stuck on like this some of this stuff is interesting. But what I'm really stuck on is them saying that whatever comes next, this is just a drop in the bucket compared to what we were about to see. And like if that intrigues anybody, like this is like the warm up. Like a couple years ago, all this stuff was starting to come out a little bit, and it seemed like they were like trying to warm up the community a bit. Like, hey, like how is the populace going to react to it? And now they're releasing all this little previews, if you will. I'm trying to figure out if this is like the minute stuff. What are they planning on releasing? Like I can't wrap my mind around that. I'm very curious. Is that it? Oh, that's a boat. Bro, I was about to say, I was like, there it is. We found it, y'all. It's real. If that was a ship, I would have believed. I would have been 100% believer tonight. There goes the. What was that? Was that a ship? I'm be honest, I don't even know what we were tracking in this video. Unresolved Mill Ace, PR42. We just watched PR42. PR42, so we're going to PR41. Is this the same? Am I looking at this backwards? Should I look at the PR 36 first? Nah, they got different dates. Some of them have different dates. I don't know, man. We don't even know what we're looking at. Like it's whatever. There it goes. And then like around the world, all the sightings are it seems like it's like the same thing. It's like a little orb. But like back in the day, everything was like a disc shaped object. What did that one newspaper say? It was a trash can lid shaped. What I'm curious about is 1966. They said that there was a few reports of the red, white, and blue lights. And the one they said it was size of a black football with I forgot they had the was it red lights on the sides and on the top was like a orange bubble emitting white light below and it was floating off the ground. And this is just like a little light. Like this not it's not like afterburners or anything. PR41, PR40. All right, we're in the clouds. Small thermal signature. I don't know, with all the new like drone technology and all that that's like going on, I just it's hard for me to like just wrap my brain around it. Like is this just something I mean, of course it's something we don't know about, but like is it like human tech that just hasn't been disclosed? All right, so this one came from over here. The 5 seconds is quick. Zoom right by. PR39, PR38. This one's back in 2013. This one got some lights to it. They're out there. That small thermal signature was a bird. Bro, then what is this? Look at this one. Look at this. What is that? It almost looks like a missile. Not a bird. Bro, but it's like it's leaving like a what is it called? An exhaust trail? It almost looks like a missile is like chasing something. Or like when like in the movies you see like the jet it fires off a flare to like bro, that thing's moving. Not a bird. Harrison, get on Discord. Probably a missile. Yeah, but like, what is it aiming at? Hold on. Uh, hello. They probably are. Do you see this? This one's the most interesting one I've seen so far. Of this? Uh-huh. Bro, Loki, I want to see it from the site. Like I want like this is I'll be like, hey, this is what the government put out. I can't trust nobody right now with all this what do you call it? The my thing with this, what I said, with all the AI, I just want to see it from the source. But like this one has colors. What could that be? That's like, and it's distinct colors. Everything's like blue, green, red. And in the reports, that's what the folks from like the 1966. No, but let me see. Where was it at? Where was it at? Right. But I would say, I'm like, okay, that could be like, a jet or something. But I don't know if you were here earlier. I was reading through this stuff and it said from this one from 1966. It was someone about the kids. Where are the kids at? 16s chased by buzzing all around. Two blue lights hovering low in the sky, about 3/4 of a mile. The lights were stationary and went from bright to dim. A third white light appeared to rise up and down between the blues and lit up the area. And then they said something about another color. 20 minutes after the blues appeared, another set, these blues with a bright red in the center, appeared off to the left of the others, about a block away. These hovered near the ground. Buzzing continued. The night was overcast with no stars, but real clear beneath the clouds where the lights were. As the third set of lights hovered, the youths agreed they could see a dark outline between the lights. A dark outline between the lights. Let me see. So a dark outline between the lights. And this one has like the colors. Like we got blue, red. I'm seeing green. Blue lights on each side with They agreed, dark outline between the lights. It looked like a black football. The blue lights on each end with an orange top like a bubble. The red light was at the bottom and it didn't move. It didn't move up and on. That's how they wrote it. It didn't move up and on, but did cast a beam of light at the ground. And this is from Friday, April 8th, 1966, from the Denver Post. And this one, this is from what it was, 2020, 2013? Middle East 2013. What did it say? Can't hear Irby at all? You can't hear Irby? You still can't hear him? He said no. This is how I always do it, though. Wait, say something? This is how I always do it, though. Wait, say something? Weird. Wait, is it because the speaker's on? It might be a big oops. Hello?
Hello, hello, hello. I wanted to show you something.
Wait, is it because the speaker's on? Might be a big oops. Hello? Hello, hello, hello.
Harrison.
Wait, you can hear him now? You can hear him? Okay. My speaker was on. That was weird. My bad, y'all. Irby was basically not believing anything that I'm saying.
Believe, dude. Entire screen. I wanted
Mines,
to
you're
show
good
you
now?
something.
Okay. What do you want to show me?
Let me see if I can get it.
Where does music come from?
Oh fuck. I mean to do that. I'm streaming. Did you hit us up?
Where at?
Did you can you see my
I don't think I have to hit accept. It just played it.
Oh, it's
Alright.
just playing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Check this out, dude. This is cryo.
Irby, we are talking about UFOs.
What? Nah, it's just quick.
Alright.
I just want to. Okay, let me try to get to the. Hold on, is this?
Mines, you see how he does me?
And then we're leaving. Okay, look at how many bodies. Hold on, look at how many bags and loot are everywhere.
Bro, murder scene.
Bro, we
I would-
rolled up.
I would have been right there with them laid on the ground.
Were there?
Dude, it was
Very chaotic.
our last guy killed their last guy. It was like 2 teams were dead, and then we rolled up,
I grabbed the trace.
and then that 3rd team, the last one, rolled up on us, and it was a firefight. And we ended up killing them. But bro, there was so much loot on the ground. Like we were just digging through all of it, trying to
Is this mine or yours?
figure out what the hell to take out. And we were running out of time. You see the top, it's like a minute 28 left. And we're just trying to.
We have to leave.
There was so much. Look what I got.
Too much.
I got a gold bully, a gold dervish, 2 of the best shotguns in the game, 2 purple medical backpacks. They had gold shit.
Oh my god.
You said this was what? Crypto? Cryo?
No, this is cryo. Look. Watch how hectic it is.
Cargo.
So a minute left, right? We hit the exfil button. You have to go to a monitor to hit the exfil button.
Cargo.
And if you're, you know how we were running out of outposts and it was kind of like, you know, heart rate going. Dude, this one is just 10 times. Like now you got to run to the skull, the exfil. We got 35 seconds until the, you know, that 1 minute final hits. But this one's slightly different. Like you you have to leave before it hits 0, or you'll die. And now we're just
Yep.
we're running through trying to get to the exit.
I'm
Look.
inside you right now.
He said, "Oh, you can't hear me talk," but I was like, "You guys with me?" He's like,
Oh my
"I'm
God.
inside you right now."
Yeah. Because he will leave y'all.
I will, bro. All that loot. I was like, I'm not fucking this up to time. We got out. We had, dude. It was so much good stuff.
Yeah, boys. Oh my lord. We got some shit.
Insane. I wish I would have recorded the actual fighting though. Anyway, that's it. But we won like 4 in a row. It was good. It was good runs.
Seemed like a lot. What is that noise? Is that the
What do you hear?
marathon background music?
Yeah, the.
Yeah. Bro, low key it goes with the UFO stuff.
You want to keep it playing?
Bro, these are the lights they described in 1966, and I need somebody to understand what I'm seeing. Hey, keep the music on, but I was like really getting into it. That was me.
I don't want to interrupt. That's pretty repetitive. Let me.
Bro, look at that thing.
I'm gonna exit this game though. It is 4 o'clock.
306.
Dude.
It does look like it's moving like a missile, but that thing is like it's chasing something, but it's not locking on. Like a missile usually like just goes. This one's like just hanging around.
Looks like it has some kind of contrail. You see it?
Yeah.
White. I mean, that's gotta have.
But look,
I don't know.
Look at like the angles it's hitting, and this is infrared. So would the what was that like the afterburner jet trails? Would that pop up on infrared?
Smoke and it's hot. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I'm not a pilot. I don't know how that shit works for them. Their systems.
And then it has all those colors on it, like.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
And like look,
black and white.
Look at the ground. Like the ground is standing still, and that thing was just like there. It has colors. Infrared is usually just really bright or really dark. I don't really remember infrared having colors to it.
Probably just a pocket of like swamp gas that got heated up. Reflection off of Venus.
But this one, remember that I don't know how much you heard. But we have the different colors, right? It's not moving like it seems. You can see the camera is the one actually moving, which is exaggerating the movement. It's not moving like it seems. Hold on, let's look at it again. Because when I'm looking at these videos, I'm looking at like the, how do you say, the backdrop. Like this is like stationary to me. Like the ground doesn't seem like it's moving. This is like moving on its own.
Well, I wonder what does it explain this video, because it looks like there's contrail behind it, like there's propulsion, like it is a something flying.
But look at that distinct shape. Like that's not changing. Like if it were to be like a missile or something, like I feel like that whatever that shape is, that would like change an angle or size. Like this little endpoint would get smaller and this one would get bigger.
Yeah, but what's the context? Are they chasing it?
A lot
Or
of
is
these
this thing just
videos, they're
floating
not like
around?
having. The United States Central Command submitted a report of a UAP to an all-domain consisting of 1 minute 46 seconds of video footage from an infrared sensor aboard a U.S. military platform in 2013. The reporter did not provide any oral or written description of the observation. This video depicts an area contrast resembling the 8-pointed star. This video depicts an area of contrast resembling an 8-pointed star with arms of alternating lengths. They're saying it's alternating. It doesn't look like it's alternating to me. The sensor field of view narrows to zoom in on the area of contrast. Excuse me. The area of contrast moves within the sensor field of view, followed by a visible trail. The area of contrast leaves the sensor field of view at the bottom right of the screen. Following an apparent cut, the area of the contrast generally remains within the sensor field of view before exiting the frame from the top left quarter of the screen. It's talking about the length of the arms and alternating lengths. The video description is provided for informational purposes only. It's talking about the length of the arms and alternating lengths. Let me see.
Action.
Yeah, not all the same size. It looks like it's staying the same size to me.
That's a weird one, especially if they're on a plane following it.
The points of the star are different sizes. I don't know, man.
Yeah, the points are different. Like the top and bottom look longer.
Well, yeah. Like
obviously.
that. This looks longer to me than this or this. But what I'm saying is they're all like staying the same. Like I feel like with all those turns and stuff, like this should like change in size and this should get longer or yeah, that's what they mean by alternating. Okay.
They're saying long, short, long, short, long, short.
So what I'm
long,
saying
short.
is when it's moving, it should be changing size. Like this is like whatever this is, per that trail, it's making zigzags going up and down. You know, it's doing its thing. But this little shape is staying pointed towards us, unless that's some kind of weird reflection on the camera. I think it stays the same size because it is a fixed exhaust design. I don't know. Mines, you smarter than me. I don't even know what that means. Normally there are fins that direct the missile. But would it go like that? Like, how do you say? Pacific Angler? And it's just staying in the same like little area. Like it's not like look at the background. Like there's no movement. Like where are we traveling to? And then it goes somewhere.
It's weird they didn't follow it.
And then the colors. I don't know. This one's standing out to me. Just because when we we look at it, we got the lights, blue, red. I'm seeing green. And then we have whatever shape this is, right? It's the line and the lights at a certain distance we saw lights. I think what throws it off is that the camera isn't in a fixed position, constantly changing the zoom. It seems a lot further than what it is. Yeah. the camera situation is not a thing. I'm gonna go back to this article one more time. Where did it say? And this is from 1966, April 8th, the Denver Post. 20 minutes after the blues appeared, another set, these blues with a bright red in the center, appeared off to the left of the others, and about a block away, these hovered near the ground. Buzzing continued. The night was overcast with no stars visible, but real clear beneath the clouds where the lights were. Oh, real clear beneath the clouds where the lights were. As the third set of lights hovered, the youths agreed they could see a dark outline between the lights. So a dark outline. Dark outline. What are you saying? I think what throws it off. The colors also aren't supposed to be in there with a thermal camera. It should only be showing shades of gray. Bro, I'm saying that's what we were just talking about. Um As the third set of lights hovered during, it looked like a black football. The blue lights on each end with an orange on the top like a bubble. The red light was at the bottom. It didn't move up and on, but did cast a beam of light at the ground. The Shriver said. There was another one where they were talking about lights. They said something about would be nice if they would have swapped off thermal. Yeah. All right, we're going to come back to that article, but I want to visit one more. I read the last page first because I wanted to see if you want to see other historical UAP records. I want to see. Okay, I'm not going to go off subject. So this one, I was reading through this one, and the guy, 5 and 6. So the agents, they're titled Esper 1 through 6, and 5 and 6, they were saying they were able to see something at night, and they depicted it with being a black line. It said two federal law enforcement special agents, 5 and 6, observed what is initially thought to be a car traveling on the side of the road in a restricted area. The car had two lights, one red, one white. They're about 2 to 3 feet off the ground. Agents pursued the car. As they got to within a few hundred feet of it, the object suddenly moved off the road over the desert without changing its orientation with respect to the observers, i.e., it appeared to move laterally at an estimated speed of 15 to 20 miles an hour. The object didn't change height and appeared to move with zero resistance. The object stopped about 100 meters off the ground of the road and turned off its lights. 6 described the object as a thin line from back, whereas the other agent 5 stated it almost looked like a ill-defined dark kite shape. A dark kite shape that had some rounded width to its other sides. I say a black line, and the other guy was like, it looks like a dark kite shape. That looks like a kite to me. Like, what are we seeing? Like, does that make sense? Is my mind translating to anybody? Anybody? Somebody say something.
What, dude?
Irby, I'm gonna hang up the phone right now.
I was reading schoolwork and trying to pay attention. It didn't work out.
Mine's anything? Irby. Focus, focus, bro. I said a lot, which is crazy to me. If I say it again, are you gonna listen?
Yeah, say it. I clicked off the page. It was bad timing.
16s. So going back to 1966, These teens said that they saw something that had 20 minutes after the blues appeared, another set of bright reds appeared on this object that they're seeing. Hover over the ground, night contrast, no stars, blah blah blah. As a third set of lights hovered, the youth agreed they could see a dark outline between the lights. So we just got done watching a video of similar lights with dark lines in between the lights of what they're describing. This video being from 2013, the article being written back in 1966.
Yeah.
It looked like a black football, the blue lights on each end with an orange on top like a bubble. The red light was at the bottom. It didn't move up and on its own, but it did cast a beam of light at the ground, Shriver said. And then if we go back to this one is this is 2026, I want to say. When was this one?
This year?
This one was Western US events. Does it say 2023, excuse me. It was released 26. Well, everything was released 26, but 2023. We have special agents, 2 federal law enforcement special agents. I call them 5 and 6. There's 7 of them. But they identify these things as USPR 5 and USPR 6. Witness a glowing orange orb at the distance of, is this the one? No, dark height. 2 federal law enforcement special agents, 5 and 6, observed what is initially thought to be a car traveling along a road in a restricted zone. The car had 2 lights, one red, one white, that are about 2 to 3 feet off the ground. Agents pursued the car, and as they got within a few hundred feet of it, the object suddenly moved off the road over the desert without changing its orientation with respect to the observers, i.e., it appeared to move laterally. At an estimated speed of 15 to 20 miles an hour, the object didn't change height and appeared to move with zero resistance. The object stopped about 100 meters off the side of the road and turned off its lights. 6 described the object as a thin line from the back, whereas the other agent 5 stated that it almost looked like an ill-defined dark kite shape that had some rounded width to the sides. An ill-defined dark kite shape that had some rounded width to the sides. This thing looks like a kite, a dark kite with black lines on it. Like 5 and 6 had described.
Yeah. But they said that shit was on the ground, right? And this one is from an airplane.
They said it was hovering above the ground, like on the road. They thought it was a car, but as they pursued it, it went from the road to like the desert without hitting any resistance. And then it started going lateral, I think it said. 5 and 6 observed what initially thought to be a car traveling along a road in a restricted zone. The car had 2 lights, one red, one white, that are about 2 to 3 feet off the ground. Agents pursued the car, quote unquote. As they got within a few hundred feet of it, the object suddenly moved off the road over the desert without changing its orientation. With respect to the observers, i.e., it appeared to move laterally at an estimated speed of 15 to 20 miles an hour. The object didn't change height and appeared to move with zero resistance. The object stopped about 100 meters off the side of the road and turned off its lights. 6 described the object as a thin line from the back, whereas the other agent 5 stated it almost looked like an ill-defined dark kite shape that had some rounded width to the sides. 6 used night vision goggles, NVGs, to view the object once it had stopped off the road. The agent stated that they observed the object for a split second in the NVGs before the lights turned off, and that once the lights were off, a very thin line remained. The object was estimated to be about 4 feet wide and positioned horizontally to the ground. See image 1. So that's image 1. I don't really understand this image. The object then began moving at about to speed of 15-20 miles and appeared to move up in height, but remain a flat line. It was moving around, but it stayed that flat, like that shape. The agent lost sight of the object after a few seconds. In later discussion, the AARO, the object is described as being triangular. And so I guess this is like the lights had made some kind of shape because whatever they're saying, they said it was like, was this the one like they were like flashing a light and how like usually a light will continue until it hits something? Well, the light had stopped in the middle, like it was hitting something, but nothing was there. And then it like passed through whatever it was going through. This one kind of made me laugh because they were like 5 and 6 is like seeing something, then they call in 7, and 7 was like, I ain't see nothing. And I'm like, just stick to the story, bro. Object 6 meters if we go lower and it appeared to slowly win as for 5. Yeah, 5 was using imageries when viewing the object, and 6 used their bare eyes. 7 did not see the object. 5 stated that in the night vision goggles, they could vaguely see a bright star. They explained a B-2 bomber They described a B-2 bomber. Who described a B-2 bomber? Mines. Five stated that the night vision goggles, they could have vaguely see a bright star or two, though somewhat more faint, leading them to believe the object from what... Okay, here we go. Irby, you with me? Irby, you fall asleep.
Oh. Listening.
All right, so after losing sight of the object, 5 tried to use a spotlight to find it again. The witness noted that when shining the light around, at one point, the beam went from shining far into the distance to stopping about 50 yards away on nothing in particular. So can you imagine that? Like the beam of a flashlight, like it would go. We're talking special agents. They probably got like the HD, triple D, like that light is going somewhere. Like these guys sound like the how you say the camo guys that guard Area 51. Like who are these people? I imagine they have a good flashlight. But the guy said he's shining his light and it stopped on something 50 yards away on. The witness noticed that when shining the light around, at one point my beam went from shining far into the distance to stopping about 50 yards away on nothing in particular. And it just was not projecting into the distance. And then it was. So whatever he was like shining his light on, in his story, he was shining his light on something that was like, what would be the word? Translucent, transparent? But it was blocking the light from continuing to shine through it, but it wasn't visible to the human eye. And it must have moved, per his story, and the light was able to go past it. Bro, yeah. I'm going to the store tomorrow, and I'm buying a whiteboard. And we're putting a whiteboard right here, and we're going to Kinko's, and printing out all these little documents, and we're pasting all the documents on the whiteboard. We're getting red line, and we're drawing red lines everywhere. Bro, I'm in it. Bro, I've been waiting for them to release this kind of stuff. Bro, I can't even read through all of these. I want to. But we
AI to summarize.
No, I want to read each one. That first one, I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I'm about to read all of this. But that first document, I was like, this one right here, bro, 184 pages. I said, okay, we gotta hit the cliff notes. because there's 17 pages of documents, and the first document was 184 pages. And then they're supposed to be releasing more stuff, which is crazy to me. Like they say this is like the first like round, first batch, and they say whatever they're showing us now is gonna is when they release the other stuff, it's gonna basically be a drop in a bucket compared to what they're about to release and show, which I find very interesting. Hold on. What video were we on? Bro, I don't know. Y'all think this is a missile? Mines, you really think this is like a missile? Or you were saying a B-2 bomber?
Say that.
I don't know. Ain't no plane moving like that, man. Like I can see a missile maybe, but like you can see the ground in the background. That's not moving.
I don't see the ground. What are you talking about? The ground?
The
Is that not
ground.
in the air?
This is like pointing down.
It is.
Like a lot of this
How you
stuff
know?
is from like UAVs, but it doesn't tell you what it is. But you can kind of see like on the edge, like there's like the corner of like whatever vehicle or something. Maybe it is looking up in the sky. I don't know.
If it was pointing at the ground, you'd be seeing stuff on the ground.
There's another video that's pointing at the ground. Yep. I forgot what I said, what I asked you.
Who, me?
Nah, I asked Mines a question. He said, yep.
I said, I'm gonna go to bed, dude. It's 4:30. It is 4:30.
Irby, how many times have we talked about aliens and we finally got the proof right here? And you trying to back out? You backing out already?
I'm not.
You backing out already, man?
Oh, we just do it another time.
You
Like
got
when the
you got the stream up?
yeah, I'm watching you. Did you see the I don't know who it was, like a senator. I always see her, this lady, but they always have like the it's almost like they're in a courtroom. It's not a courtroom, but it's where they question people, right? And she was questioning one of these people involved with the release. Like he's one of the people involved with one of the programs, right? I think this was today because it was new, and she was asking him, so you recovered a craft? He said, yeah, we recovered a craft. It's like, were there people on board? He was like, there were biologics on board. She's like, were they human? He's like, the biologics on board were not human. I'm like, why would you call them biologic? Well, whatever. I guess, they don't have a name for them, but she was like, okay. That's kind of where it ended, but basically, he's like, they recovered bodies on board and they weren't human. So they're motherfucking aliens. Why don't you just say alien? Like, you're afraid it's going to scare people by you saying alien.
Well,
You say
people are like,
biologics.
the whole thing why they changed it to UAP is because now, like back then, people was losing their jobs saying they saw a UFO. And so they had to change it to UAP to make this new system where it was acceptable to actually put in these reports, because people were seeing stuff, but they weren't reporting it, because if as a pilot or as a aircrew member or something, you reported a UFO sighting, you would lose your flight status, you would lose your security clearance for a minute, and you go under this investigation, and basically people were like, you know what, I don't want all that, and they were trying to make it okay for people to say something. So instead of calling it UFO, they changed it to UAP to make it a more accepting thing. Like, you're not crazy if you're saying, hey, I saw a UFO. Like, that's why I think a lot of those guys that because I know who you're talking about. He was like what, 2-3 years ago when they were doing the first wave of UFO stuff. He was like in front of, it was the lady senator. I forgot her name, but like she was like interviewing him, and like they were like trying to say some of the stuff, but then they couldn't say everything, and they had to do it like closed door interviews or discussions. But a majority of the stuff that he was saying was like, yes, there is biologics found on crafts and this and that. But the only thing with his stuff was that I don't remember him saying anything that he saw personally. A majority of his stories was saying that someone told him that they saw.
Well, there's been a couple of people like that are involved with the program that use the same
Bro,
words
I'm
like
about to collab with Joe
biologics.
Rogan at this point, man. We got to figure this
He
out.
had
We
Joe
got to.
Rogan last year. He had 2 retired Air Force master sergeants. One might have been a senior, but it's 2 Air Force guys, and they were working on the UAP program for the Air Force. Like, this is more recent. This was last year that he interviewed them, right? But they were doing that program.
Yeah, but they can't say
like,
nothing.
Well, no, they can. That's why they came on the show. Like, they could discuss a lot, but they said the same thing. They're like, yeah, we have craft, and we found not human. But they weren't calling them aliens, right? I mean, eventually they did call them that, but at first they used like biologics or entities or whatever, right? They didn't say alien. And then Joe Rogan was like, okay, they're not human, so aliens? And they're like, yeah. But I guess it's just kind of beat into them that they're not supposed to call them aliens. So they call them biologics or entities. Like, they don't know if they're from here or from another planet. You know, if they're from another planet, okay, aliens. But what if they're from here? What if they're under the ocean? Way down.
A lot of, like, this video right here is like the ocean, but oh man, I thought that thing exploded on it.
A lot of those videos, like the actual footage from aircraft, it
It's
has them
overwater.
going into the ocean.
Yeah.
No, it has them going in the ocean.
Irby, you
They
weren't
go in
involved.
and come out.
You weren't involved in this stream, because this is what we were talking about the
Oh.
first 30 minutes.
Okay.
Sir,
You just said above.
late.
I'm saying they go in and out with no resistance.
Look at this. What is this? Another boat.
That's my boat. Forrest Gump catching shrimp. Chinese fishing boat.
PR 36, 35.
Yeah, who's getting surveillanced out there? What are you catching?
24 seconds, small.
They were zoomed right in on that dude's boat.
I guess they're trying to see. And it's all the same thing. It's like these little small orb things. Like, is this another one? Is this another one? Or is this the one? What are all these things? I'm so confused at like where we went. This one looked like it was looking up in the sky, and then it went like down. Mm-mm-mm. 35, 34. This one's in Greece. What was this? 2023. Interesting. There it is, right there. That thing is like it's making turns. That was a 90-degree turn, and it just came right back. I wonder if they're doing that manually, or is that like the computer locking on to it?
I think some of them are clipped where they edit it and they track it on the actual footage. So they zoom in and then track it, and the sensor, like the actual video, is a lot wider. So you're seeing like the edited version where they just track it on the original video. Like that last one, the first one you was looking at, that one's like that.
What's crazy to me is like a majority of the ones that like all the different videos, all the cursors and all that are different. Like I would imagine like if it's like all the same US whatever, these cursors would be kind of similar. I seen one, it looked like from a gateway computer, like it was like a line with a red little circle right here. Like I'm like, it looked worse than the video games. It looked worse than PUBG Mobile.
I mean, a lot of those systems are old. Well, the aircraft, man, you gotta think is like 1980s, 1990s technology. And yeah, they get updated, but you're talking like going from DOS or Windows 2 to like Windows 6. That's the kind of updates that the Air Force does. Because like the rest of the system is old. You can't be putting
I don't
a
know,
Windows 11.
per Google, because we're just people on Twitch. Let me see. What is this? Oh, yo, why is the screen white? I'm about to freak out. 34. We got more videos. We got more videos, bro. Low key, I'm about to put a pause to this and just pick this back up tomorrow. It is 3:42 over here. We're on page 9. Mines, are you still here? You gonna be here tomorrow to be able to jump back in? Okay. Irby, are we doing our podcast thing? We're just gonna look at these videos. Bro, there's like a few videos to look at. I'll be
There's a lot of videos.
Tomorrow is Sunday. So is it the better to do it in the morning or in the evening for you? Mine's. Probably around the same time. I might have to go to bed a little earlier tomorrow. I was supposed to go to bed early today. It's fucking 3:44. I don't know. This is interesting. I need more time. We're at page 9. I'm I'm gonna write this in the chat. Page 9. Page 9. Videos. Yeah, I wanna. Okay, we did this one. FBI, 1968. I want to know if there was any more recent FBI reports. 2007 declassification. Oh no, declassified 2007. 1947, bro. We had cameras back then. That could be anything. That could be super exposure. Manually in. I can't go off of old photos. I can't. I need something new. 1947. FBI, FBI. 1947. Dude, there was one, I don't know. I wonder if Gemini can give me a link. Ask Gemini. I'm looking for a disclosed report from the U.S. government about a UFO / UAP sighting to where the individuals that laid eyes on the craft turned to stone. I swear I read this story somewhere, but I cannot remember where I read that at. Irby, why do you sound asleep right now?
I'm not asleep.
Why you sound asleep?
I'm about to go though. Can't. It's almost 5 o'clock, dude. It is almost 5 o'clock, sir. It is almost 5 a.m. Hairston.
All right, waiting on Gemini to find this thing. Unveiling source. Did it find it? It found it. Y'all think I'm crazy? Minds, you read this? The CIA document, the Stone Soldiers Incident. The document you are looking for does indeed exist within the United States Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA archives. However, to eliminate any errors and provide the most accurate context, it is crucial to understand what this document actually is. Was it a lie? A farce? It is not an official intelligence investigation verifying an extraterrestrial attack, but rather a translated foreign newspaper clipping. Here are specific details of the declassified report. Paper reports alleged evidence on mishap involving UFO. March 27, 1993. Foreign Broadcast Information Service, FBIS, the story described in the report. According to the translation found in the CIA Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, reading room, the document details of the bizarre events allegedly sourced from a 250-page KGB dossier. The sequence of events is described as follows. What was KGB again? KGB? KGB was like their special
Russian CIA.
KGB Russia. What is
Russian
it?
CIA.
Russian CIA. KGB, I think, is Russian CIA. Okay, everyone's saying CIA. My bad. I don't know. deciding a low-flying spaceship shaped like a saucer appeared over a Russian military unit conducting routine training maneuvers in Siberia. The crash, a surface-to-air missile, was unexpectedly launched, striking the craft and causing it to crash nearby. Entities. 5 short humanoids with large heads and large black eyes emerged from the wreckage. The transformation. According to the testimony of surviving soldiers, the entities came close together and merged into a single spherical object that began to buzz and hiss. All these reports, like from 1966 especially, like they all like talked about this buzzing, like a weird buzzing noise like people never experienced before. This sphere repeatedly expanded and exploded with a brilliant, blinding white light. The result, 23 soldiers who were watching the phenomenon were instantly transformed into stone poles. Subsequently, scientific analysis purportedly, I don't know that word, found that the biological structure of the petrified soldiers had instantly been transformed into a substance whose molecular composed was indistinguishable from limestone. 2 soldiers were standing in the shade survived. A CIA representative stated, if the KGB file corresponds to reality, this is an extremely menacing case. The aliens possess such weapons that technology that go beyond all our assumptions, quote, as it appears in translated documents. The misconceptions and the facts. When this document was declassified and placed in the public reading room, it quickly went viral. Many internet users and UFO enthusiasts incorrectly cited the official CIA header as proof that the U.S. government had confirmed aliens turned Russian soldiers into limestone. The reality of the document is entirely different due to the nature of the FBIS. I don't know what that is. During the Cold War and throughout the 1990s, the FBIS was director directorate tasked with continuous translating and archiving international media broadcasts, magazines, and newspapers to keep records of global news cycles. If you read the text of the declassified document carefully, the true origin of the story is revealed. The CIA was simply translating an article published in March 27, 1993, in the Ukraine newspaper. Dude, was it a story? Boo. The Ukraine newspaper itself explicitly states in its opening paragraph that it has reprinted a story from the authoritative magazine Canadian Weekly World News. The Weekly World News was notorious North America supermarket tabloid famous for publishing entirely fictional and sensationalist entertainment stories, such as the infamous Bat Boy saga. Bat Boy, there you go. Therefore, the CIA did not investigate or confirm an alien attack. They simply filed away a translated Ukraine newspaper article which had unwillingly republished a fictional tabloid, such as a factual KGB leak. Huh? A fictional tabloid story as if it were a factional KGB lit. Okay. This remains a fascinating piece of UFO lore, primarily because it's classified is a classic example of an intelligent agency routine administrative translation work being entirely misinterpreted by the public as classified. Then why they say it came out from the KGB? Let me see. According to a translation found in the CIA Freedom of Information Act (FOIA) reading room, the document details a bizarre incident allegedly sourced from a 250-page KGB dossier. The sequence of events is described as follows. I'm confused, man. There's a cover-up. I know it. I know it. Is this interesting to anybody, or is it just me? Irby, did I lose you? Irby done fell asleep. Irby, wake up. Irby gone. He gone. Mons, tell me you still here, man. Don't tell me they got you too. He got beamed up. They got him. They got him. All I'm saying is I find it very interesting that we got all this stuff that was supposedly fictional, but now they're releasing all this stuff. They got a whole website about it. A whole website.
Gemini Control here again. Earlier in the flight, you'll recall at the start of the second revolution, we had a reference to several objects that the crew spotted. This was in the area of Antigua. Due to a mechanical breakdown, we did not have that portion of the tape available for you. This was a line breakdown between Building 30 and our news center in Building 6. Since then, we have dubbed the tape off the master tape here in the control center, and we are now prepared to play it for you. It contains references to sighting not only some particles, but as well as an unidentified object, plus the booster. Here's that tape. We'll play it for you now.
Gemini 7 here, Houston, out of your 8.
Loud and clear. 7, go ahead.
Bogey at 10 o'clock high.
This is Houston. Say again, 7.
So we have a bogey at 10 o'clock high.
Roger. Gemini 7, is that the booster or is that an actual sighting?
What?
Say again, 7.
Okay, we have several, looks like the 3 up here, actual sighting.
You have any more information, estimated distance or size?
But we also have the booster in sight.
Understand you also have the booster in sight, Roger.
And we have very, very many, looks like hundreds of little particles going by to the left out about 3 to 4 miles.
Understand you have many small particles going by on the left. At what distance?
4 miles. Large, looks like perhaps a vehicle that's disintegrated.
Roger, understand they're about 3 to 4 miles away.
They're past now, they're going to pull a little bit.
Roger, and understand they were about 3 to 4 miles away.
Why did it sound like he was in combat when he said that? Like they had
Understand
like
you
50
have
cal
many
shooting in the background.
Understand you have many small particles going by on the left. At what distance?
4 miles. Large, looks like
You hear it?
vehicle that's disintegrated.
Bro, they in combat.
Roger, understand they're about 3 to 4 miles away.
They're past now, they're going to pull a little bit.
Roger, and understand they were about 3 to 4 miles away.
Traffic clear line. Go further.
Roger. Gemini 7, Houston, were these particles in addition to the booster and the bogey at 10 o'clock high? Roger.
7, this is, Houston, this is 7.
Go ahead.
I have the booster on my side as a brilliant body of the sun against a black background and with billions of particles around it.
Roger, what direction is it from you?
It's about at my 2 o'clock position.
Does that mean it's ahead of you?
Affirmative. Ahead of us, 2 o'clock, slowly coupling.
Roger.
OS 91. Fox 91. Fox 1. 91, say again.
Gemini Control here again. The reference in that conversation to the third unidentified object, of course, the third object was bogey. There were several references to the bogey. This is the unidentified object in addition to particles which appear to be headed in a polar orbit, you heard Frank Borman say, plus Jim Lovell discussing the booster. It was Borman who reported sighting the bogey. This is Gemini Control Houston at 4 hours, 24 minutes into the flight.
Bro, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I want to believe. I want to. I need more. I need more. We got more to go through. I can't go through it all tonight though. But I think I'm interested in what this is, but I'm interested to see what else they release. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. Dude was probably thinking I should have took leave today. Facts. All right, I'm a pause it here. I don't even know which one we're on. I think page 9. So we're on page 9 of the video. So we had look at the first document on page 1. We clicked randomly on page 3, and we went from 17 down to page 9, just looking at the videos. So we still gotta look at the remaining photos and try to make it through these articles. This would be something I'll probably do kind of just like on the back end of like a game session or something. But I don't know. I just wanted to look through this stuff. I was about to go to bed, and then I just randomly thought about this, and I was like, you know what? I still got some gas in the tank. Let's look through it. 3 hours later. I'm not crazy. But they released it on the official government page, so I mean, we're not the only people talking about it. I ain't gonna lie, that looks fake. Hold on. Oh, y'all can't see it. What in the world is this vitamin pill? What is it? The fish pill? I was just scanning through some stuff. This looks like a chopper or a fly. We saw some of this stuff. I don't know. I find it interesting. Anyway, as always, if you made it this far, uh, shout out to my real ones, Irby, Mines. Thank y'all for hanging out, and all my other users that are in the chat. Torts Adventure Guild, as always, I appreciate y'all. If you're not tracking, we started a YouTube page. If you're interested, I'm slowly building it up, just like kind of leaking stuff out on that platform, seeing how it does. Getting some good traction. 952 views on one, 27 views on another. I don't know how this algorithm works, but we'll figure it out. That's a day new. So, anyway, as always, I appreciate y'all. And if the men in black don't come get me, before I log in the next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. But yeah, I'm out. Beam me up, Scotty. It's time to go home.